as they went past the post, thinking there might be a steward's inquiry and objection. Some punter went in and had 650s on, £300 to win 50 quid with him. He's kept quiet now, no more 6-to-1 on, he's offering. He's seen the big screen here at the centre of the Knavesmire. No betting on any steward's inquiry now. It looks safe for Branston Jewel, returned at 7-4, giving Michael Roberts his third win in this race. Welsh Mist and Madam Millie, both trained by Ron Boss, also won this for Michael Roberts. So his third win here. Branston Jewel, what a treble we could be about to see with Star Rage of Branston Abbey to come.
Well, here's one for the archives. I've got the winning owners, Mr. and Mrs. David and Juliana Abel, and two nieces, one daughter. Oh, lovely. And names?
Kate Abel.
You don't seem very excited, Kate. You have so many winners in your family. Yeah. And you are?
Alexandra Fenn.
Right, and?
Marina Fenn.
Marina and Alexandra. Right, well, David, a big day for you. I mean, that's the first leg out of the way.
Yeah, I think that was the one we were most certain of, really. We're getting £9 from the other horses. We felt if she didn't win today, we'd be pretty disappointed.
And David, the PRO after she won at Windsor was that she was very good. You say that was the easiest of the legs. I mean, how good do you think she is?
I don't know. She could be very good, but
she's still very green,
very green. She hung left, as you saw, and ran a lot further than the others. But I don't know whether you saw when she looked as though she might lose the rail. Michael just sort of niggled her, and she just shot forward. I think she was very impressive, really. She won very easily, but she should have done with £9.
She didn't have a hard race.
No, because he was having a job to ride her because she was edging away, wasn't she?
Right, yeah.
And Julia, reading in the paper the other day, I mean, apart from seeing you at the various tracks where Vindaloo and etc., so we'll come on to them, but without being rude, you're slightly more hard-nosed about placing and things like that, but you really follow them the heart and the mouth every time.
I totally follow them, but I do the breeding, David does the placing and the racing. So he has the hot spot, and I do the backup. And
you got the dam of this?
Yes, yeah. We've got Tuxford Hideaway, and she's got the most wonderful yearling going to the St Leger Sales by Shalford.
Are you selling her?
Cracker. We're not saying we're selling him. He's going through the ring. Yes, we are selling him. Yeah. I wish we could afford it.
And David, you placed all the horses, and you placed two here this afternoon. We've got Star Rage. I mean, there was almost a letter you wish you hadn't written in the paper this morning from somebody who claimed that you were running Star Rage too often. I mean, he proved that conclusively wrong.
Yeah, I think the press has also thought the same thing, but if you look at my horses, some of them run once a month, some of them run twice a week. It depends on the individual horse. But Star Rage has returned better than ever. You saw him win a £15,000 race in Newcastle when he was supposed to be finished last year. So it all depends on the horse.
I mean, I've been lucky enough to have, one or two winners myself.
No.
To me...
You bought one or two from me.
Oh, yes, I'm a Rainbow Bridge. To me, it's always a sense of disbelief, but I've had nothing like the winners you've had. I mean, is it still a great thrill for you?
Enormous thrill, and we bred this. You act as God by deciding the mating, and Juliana decided this mating. We had the foal at home, the yearling, and then we sent her to mark, and here we are today. But we have got a Shalford colt and a Wolfhound colt from the same dam. And remember, Branston Abbey was rated 113 by your esteemed organisation, and Big Blow was 110. So we've had 3 rated 100 out of 4 foals so far.
That's some record. And moving on to later this afternoon, Branston Abbey herself, what sort of form is she in?
I think she'll run well. Mark always reckons she's pretty well unbeatable on soft side of good ground in a rated stakes race. And Star Rage, my view is it would be too soft for him today.
Too soft for him today?
I think so, yeah.
Right,
yeah, he likes it really firm. He staggered us by winning at Newcastle. We couldn't believe it.
Good Lord. And moving on, Vindaloo yesterday, so near so far, and it runs tomorrow.
He runs tomorrow. He's a good, tough boy, and he's got a fantastic trainer who knows exactly what he can and can't do. And he was backing and kicking going away from the races yesterday, and he is all ready for the big one tomorrow.
Well, we look forward to seeing him. Well done. Just the last word from the children. Did you have a bet there?
No.
No? Wouldn't he give you £1 for the tote?
No, but I probably will on Star Rage.
You will on Star Rage?
Branston Abbey.
Well, where are you from?
Well, I was born in England, but I live in America.
Oh, how lovely. Right. And do you like racing?
Yeah.
What about you two?
Yeah, we love racing.
You love racing?
Yeah, and they all ride.
And you all ride. Well, we better leave you because you've got a lovely presentation to take. Thank you very much for joining us, and the best of luck for the rest of the afternoon.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
Now here's the SP of this second race at York today, and a very tight run thing for second place. The winner, number 3, Branston Jewel at 7-4. Second, number 2, Westcourt Magic at 13-8 favourite. Looked like finishing last of the 4 at one stage, but finished so rapidly he got up to finish second in the dying strides. Perhaps a return to 6 furlongs will suit that horse. Third, number 1, Soviet Style at 5-2. The tote returns, the win paid £2.70. Places, no places there, of course. Dual forecast £2.90. The CSF £4.63 and 4 rand. Now the Dial Your Joy result on our first live race. Branston Jewel, Westcourt Magic and Soviet Style. The winner, Philip Mead of Boston in Lincolnshire. He wins £100. And on the next, the 310 0891 777 922 is the number to call. 0891 777 922 for Dial Your Joy.
Oh, a couple of non-runners in our first race, the Levy Board Stravinsky Vodka Claiming Stakes. What a wonderful name for a race. Forever Diamonds number 5 and number 8 Rambo Walser didn't run in that. A claiming race, you remember, is a race in which the owner can handicap his own horse more or less by saying how much money he's prepared for it to be sold from. Blockade's owner was prepared to let him go for 9,000. That got him £5 off the top weight, and Blockade in fact started favourite. There he is. Let's see how they bet on the others.
And Michael Fenton's Mount Blockade, the 2-1 market leader. Second Colours at 4-1, Guesstimation a 9-2 chance. And then Blaze of Oak at 6-1, 2 on 9-1, Lorelei Lee and First Gold. And Ivan the Terrible was the outsider at 14-1.
So they make the final turn. It's Blockade, the inside of the check colours, Ivan the Terrible. These two stride for stride. Back in third place is the pink-jacketed Blaze of Oak. Blue colours, the rail is Guesstimation. Behind these second colours in the Peter Saville jacket coming with a run. The dark green on the outside is Lorelei Lee. And First Gold isn't out of it either. They've got 3 furlongs to go. Blockade still has the edge. Here comes Blaze of Oak on the outside. Here's second colours out wide in the light blue sleeve jacket, and Lorelei Lee, the dark green, even wider still. Come down to the 2 furlong marker, and Blaze of Oak comes to pass Blockade, the rail. Second colours dirty down the centre of the track. Blue colours off the pace is Guesstimation. First Gold behind these. Lorelei Lee gives way. They come down to the final furlong, and it's Blaze of Oak, but here comes second colours strongly on the outside. Pulled wide for a run is Guesstimation. They're inside the final furlong now, and second colours is battling hard to Blaze of Oak. Guesstimation staying on strongly as they race up towards the line. Blaze of Oak is rallying. At the line, it's going to be close. Oh, what a close call. Very close call. Second colours, Blaze of Oak 1 and 2. But that's close. Another one for the judge here at York.
Well, second colours did win, but there was a sad aftermath to that because the stewards interviewed Blaze of Oak's rider Ray Cochran and felt that his use of the whip didn't stay within the rules, and they've suspended Ray for 2 days. That's the sad result of the race. Nevertheless, a fine victory for second colours, and here are the starting prices.
First, number 2, Second Colours at 4-1. Kevin Darley's 120th winner of the season. Second, number 1, Blaze of Oak at 6-1. And third, number 6, Guesstimation at 9-2. Non-runners there, numbers 5 and 8. Number 3, Blockade, the 2-1 favourite, and 7 rand. A few more other SPs. The first result at Sandown, the 150. First, number 1, Alabrac, the 9-4 favourite, and that's an entry in both the Middle Park and the Dewhurst Stakes. Second, number 6, Glen Rasey at 10-1, and third, number 12, Warbrook, also at 10-1, 13 rand. And the 220, a win here for Her Majesty the Queen with number 4, Night Watch, the 6-5 favourite. Second, number 1, Cannon Can at 3-1, and third, number 2, Diego at 16-1. Non-runner number 6 and 8 rand. And at Newton Abbot, the first result there, the 230, a good start for the Martin Pipe and David Bridgewater combination with number 1, St Melian Green, the 6-4 on favourite, and they've got 4 others running at Newton Abbot today with favourites chances. Number 2, River Consort was second at 13-8, and third, number 3, Killing Time at 14-1, 4 rand.
Early betting going on up here. Harry Duckworth from Blackpool, and you're not waving. You're going to be good children here. You're representing Yorkshire, for goodness sake. They're making Celeric 7-2, and that was backed in the offices this morning for the Tories horse in from 11-2. And also 9-2 against Cherrington, 9-2 Embracing. These prices will get bigger, I think. Is 6-1 Istabrack, 8-1 Midian Blue, and 8-1 against Star Rage, and 9-1 Quanga. They're very, very early prices. I'm sure they will get much bigger. 10 favourites. There's a good race of favourites, this, though. 10 favourites and 16 runnings. But if you follow me around here, you can see why the bookmakers can't go up. Look at these queues here to be drawing still over Branston Jewel. Great queues around the bookmakers to be drawing, so that's good news. They can't really go up. I can now see 4-1 Celeric. So 4-1 Celeric, that's the early show, but good race of favourites, 10 and 16. Can Celeric make it 11 in 17?
John McCurrick, James Eustace with me now. John McCurrick just saying that it's a very good race for favourites. What about a race for top weights? How do you feel about his chances today?
I think he's probably got it very tough today. I think especially on the ground, sounds stupid after the Ebor, which was obviously fast ground, but I think a lot of weight on fast ground probably is going to be a bit too much for him.
And I mean, 2 weeks ago, I mean, we were talking about this beforehand. I mean, it would have been, you won the Schweppes Mile at Goodwood a couple of seasons ago with a very well fancied horse.
Yeah.
But this particular race, I mean, you know, sort of a hair's breadth away, it would have been the biggest one for you, wouldn't it?
It would in terms of prize money, and it's also a race I've always wanted to win. When I worked for Mark Tompkins, I did a filly called Lustanica, who would have been the first filly since Gladness to win the Ebor. And she went there and won the race, or looked to have won the race, and then another Sam that Richard Hannon used to train came and did her on the line, I think. So we have history repeated.
You think you jinxed you in the Ebor?
Absolutely, but I'll win it one day. I'll win it one day.
I mean, what actually went through your mind? I mean, I think Graham called the result correctly, but I think John Frankham and I initially both thought you'd won, watching from the paddock position.
Yeah, I mean, when they went past the post, I thought we'd won. And then I remembered Gray shot the day before and thought, well, we've got to calm everyone down a bit. And Mrs. Balding actually came up to me and said, you know, we were done exactly the same way yesterday and be careful. And then actually Mike Dillon told me he thought we were beaten. So Ladbrokes are never wrong. So.
And James, you know, people are asking, how is the horse after that?
He seems fine. He seems in very good form. You know, I hope he runs well today, but as I say, I think, you know, a £6 raise he's going to have it tough today, really.
James, we wish you lots of luck. Many thanks.
Thank you.
So, from Midian Blue and James Eustace to Star Rage, who represents Mark Johnson. He's bidding for yet another victory. Remember, he won 9 handicaps last season. He equalled the 20th century modern day record of handicaps. Can he make it another one? We'll see very shortly.
Hamilton Direct Bank provides a specialised direct loan service. A free telephone number will be appearing on your screen shortly, so if you're planning an important purchase, make sure you have a pen to hand. If you're thinking about buying a better car, or fancy the latest in designer kitchens, you could get a loan without fuss by calling Hamilton Direct Bank now, free on 0800 85 0800. Your unsecured personal loan can be for almost any purpose and for any amount, from £500 to £10,000. With a loan from Hamilton Direct Bank, a cheque can be sent directly to you. Then the money for the car could be in your hands. Or the money to turn your plans to reality. Whatever your need, we're offering our lowest rate ever of 13.8% APR for loans from £5,000 to £10,000. Loans less than £5,000 are at 16.9% APR. So call 0800 85 0800 now. We have the money to hand.
Don't spend your life looking the same. Get the new Autumn and Winter Look Again catalogue. Call the free number 0800 224 223. You want your clothes in a hurry? You can use our next day delivery service. Look Again has lots of famous brands, and there are clothes you won't find in high street shops. Get Look Again. Call the number 0800 224 223. The call's free and the catalogue's free. It ain't the same, it ain't the same. Look Again!
Are you over 50? Then why should you pay so much for your motor insurance? Phone Cornhill Direct today on 0800 10 50 10 and discover just how much you could save by switching to our 50+ motor policy. It's affordable insurance for careful drivers like you, and it's flexible too, so you can choose the level of cover you want. So call now for an instant quote or even instant cover and see how much you could save with the 50+ motor policy. That number again, 0800 10 50 10. Call now.
It's here, the best dance album of the year with the original. The Out Here Brothers and the Shaman. 40 of the biggest grooves of 95 for one massive double album with Bobby Brown and Corona. Clock and Live in Joy. R. Kelly, M-Trance, M-People and Strike. There's only one best dance album of the year, and it's out right now.
This is a message from Cornhill Direct for viewers aged 50 or over who are looking for extra life insurance. Pick up a pen now and write this number down. That's 0800 22 6655. When you get to our age, it's good to get out and keep fit.
We're not taking any chances either.
Which is why we want to tell you about Cornhill Direct's 50+ senior security plan.
It's affordable life insurance for people like us, and it pays out a cash sum to your partner or loved one when you die.
It costs as little as £8 a month, but you can choose the amount of cover you want for real security.
And peace of mind. There's no medical to worry about either, and your premiums will never go up, which is good news.
Plus, no salesman will knock on your door. So phone Cornhill today and ask for an information pack and application form. Call 0800 22 6655 now to find out more about the 50+ senior security plan from Cornhill Direct. We're waiting to take your call, so please, phone now.
So welcome back. You might have heard John Oaksey, well hopefully heard John Oaksey give the news after the recording of the first race that Ray was in trouble for his use of the whip on Blaze of Oak. Well, that suspension, we were saying, does it affect his ride in the St Leger? Well, no, it doesn't. In the old days, it would have done, but Ray is now suspended on Friday the 8th and Monday the 11th of September, because, of course, the new rule brought in this season, some feel very strongly it's a good idea, others, jockeys who don't get the chance to ride in Group 1 races, not quite in agreement, feel the new rule means that it doesn't affect a day where a Group 1 takes place. So Ray, who presumably rides Lusso in St Leger, keeps the ride on that. He would have lost it in the old day, and also he's free on the Sunday because there are, in effect, Group 1 races available to him in France. So that's less than happy news. Here's a slightly happier note. Michael Stoute saddles so many winners here at York over the year, having another good season on the Knavesmire this time around, embracing one of his rare disappointments this season. Kevin Darley just cantering down to start on her for this mile and three-quarter handicap, but she didn't quite make it in the way planned in the Tote Ebor. But nonetheless, in recognition of Michael's efforts this season, he won the Festival of York Trophy. It was presented at the end of the Ebor meeting, and Lady Manton presenting that Waterford Crystal decanter to the ever popular and ever successful Michael Stoute. He really has got a fantastic record here. As we said earlier, Embracing represents him here. Here's Graham with a full list.
With Medium Blue, the top weight, an 8-to-1 chance of the Ray Cochrane ride. Star Rage, 9-to-1, Michael Roberts on board. Celeric, the 4-to-1 favourite, ridden by Frankie Dettori. Embracing, 5-to-1, Kevin Darley. Charrington, 9-to-2, and Paul Ellery. Shoahin is ridden by Gary Carter, who wears a black distinguishing cap, 14-to-1, the odds on offer for that one. Quangert, 12-to-1, now ridden by Pat Edery. We'll bring you news on that in a moment. Jockey change here, Tony Ives should be riding. He isn't, Pat Edery is. Bergeron 25-to-1, Kim Tinkler. Istabrack 7-to-1, Willie Carson. Floating Line 16-to-1, partnered by Kieran Fallon. Course winner Augustin is ridden by Lee Newton, who claims a £5 allowance. 20-to-1, the odds on offer. Non-vintage 33-to-1, Colin Mundy claiming 7. And Chantry Beast completes the lineup at 20-to-1, and Lindsay Chon.
The runners swinging on down to the start. There's Midian Blue, the last of the field to make it across the Knavesmire. Ground here is in tremendous condition. I had a walk on the track before we went into our post-production meeting, pre-production meeting I should say, and I thought it walked certainly even better than it did on Ebor Day. I'm just talking to John Smith before racing. He said there wasn't a single complaint from a trainer or jockey about conditions, and that's some feather in the cap for the ground staff here when you think how dry it's been. Well, Midian Blue, one of 4 of these who clashed over the course and distance in the Tote Ebor, and it was Midian Blue who fared much the best. But in saying that, he, after the bravest of efforts, was inched out of glory by Willie Carson and San Martino.
Well, this was a tremendous finish, and Midian Blue did everything but win it. It was only the camera which decided that he hadn't. Here comes San Martino now, and from this point to the line, there was never more than an inch between these two. They run on, both horses run on tremendously gamely. Should have been a dead heat.
It should indeed, and Midian Blue lost no cast, as they say, in defeat, and tremendously hard. I felt so sorry for James Eustace. Those sort of results, you know, kingdoms are won and lost on those sort of photos, and it was a very gutsy performance. But the brutal truth is that Midian Blue has earned no favours from the handicapper, who's upped him £6 for that run, and he's therefore faced with his biggest task ever. But he runs really well here. He won a good handicap here at the May meeting, and if guts were the battle, he'd have a chance. You just would think that with 10 stone, one of these improving 3-year-olds further down the weights will be able to outgun him.
He's a total of £9 worse off with Embracing, who was 8th in that Ebor handicap. But there's no doubt about my hero in this race, and we're looking at him because there hasn't been a harder worker. Well, I suppose, as a matter of fact, Vindaloo, who carries the same colours, can claim to be as hard a worker as Star Rage. He won, as you remember, 9 races last season and has just about taken up where he left off, winning 3 races recently, including a tremendous victory on Monday. Well, Star Rage probably does run a little bit idly when he gets in front. He gets in front of Good Hand here, and he probably thinks, well, that's enough for the moment, and dosses down a little bit. But, in fact, he also does enough. Good Hand coming back at him over on the far rails. But tremendous finish, but what a performance. He's won again, and who knows, he certainly looks capable of winning again today.
Well, he falls into the he wasn't foaled, he was quarried division, doesn't he? And there's been this letter in the Sporting Life saying that Mark Johnson over races him, but he answered that with his victory on Monday, and he's clearly looked in tremendous nick in the paddock, and he just thrives on racing. 28 runs last year for those 9 wins. Soleric, this is the favourite, subject to some substantial activity in the early price market this morning. And this is your archetypal improving, staying 3-year-old. Only out of the first 2 once in 5 starts this year, and that was when involved in at least 2 barging matches in a handicap at Royal Ascot. Since then he's beaten Shaft of Light over a mile 5 at Newbury, and then looked genuinely unlucky rather than the subject of some inspired excuses over 2 miles at Newbury last time. He was sort of lost his place on the turn, and when they quickened, he was caught a bit flat-footed, had to run wide. Frankie Dettori back in the saddle. He's won on him already this season. And this, John, is the horse who probably looks as if he's most steadily going in the right way, and that's why the punters have latched onto him in the market.
Yes, he looks really well in the paddock, but mind you, this is probably the stiffest task he's had. Well, Jeff Ragg has placed Cherrington for Sheikh Mohammed, in Sheikh Mohammed's colours of the white noseband there, has placed him brilliantly this season. He's won his last 2 races, and he and Shaft of Light were an awful long way clear of their rivals at Goodwood. That almost certainly suggested that Cherrington is still improving. Paul Edery rides Cherrington, and Pat, his brother, rides Quango. Let's have a look at the eye catchers. Well, Cherrington gets 2 votes, ours in the paddock, and GG's on the way down. GG didn't like the way Augustin went down, and in the ring, well, Sir Lerick is getting some support. The filly Embracing is not.
And latest betting on this battle is Cash and Carry Handicap, and Celeric getting plenty of support. Was 4-1, now 3-1, the clear favourite. Cherrington at 9-2, on 6-1 Embracing a little weak, and then on 7s is Isterbraak. Showing at 9-1 Medium Blue and Star Rage. At 14s then Quango, who's drifting. Chantry Beath in the opposite direction, in from 20s to 14s. Showerhin a 16-1 chance. On 20-1 Floating Line and Augustin, the outsiders here, Faugeron and Non-Vintage, both 33-1.
Cheleric, the mover, off course from 11-2 down to 7-2, and on course has moved, as you've seen, 4-1 into clear, 3-1 favourite, Cheleric. And I can't see any more going for it. And Hills, the off-course firm, are backing Cheleric. Is then on the shoulders. Cherrington 9-2 has touched 5-1, and Weak Stout's horse Embracing out to 6-1 from 5, and Isterbraak 7-1 with Gosden and Carson, who've both won the race twice.
Isterbraak, closely related to the Derby winner Secreto. He's gradually got his act together, has been stepped up in trip this season, and stayed on to land a Salisbury maiden over mile and 3/4 last time. You think he'd have a bit more to do here. Interesting that there's a little bit of money for Chantry Beath, who we saw run on Channel 4 at Sandown the other day, 14s from 20s, waiting for a bit of rain, I would think, for that one, but still being nibbled, running into form and right down the weights from 68 last year to low 50s this. And Cherrington, interesting also, given the money for Celeric, that Cherrington's 9-2 from 5s. The market arguing that it's between Celeric and Cherrington, two of these three crucial 3-year-olds who look to dominate events.
So Augustin going in, who did not go down well. 3's Celeric now, 9-2 Cherrington, 11-2 the filly Embracing, and 7 bar those as Non-Vintage and Colin Mundy, who claims the full £7 allowance, goes in. There is Pat Edry on Quango, and here is Graham Good.
Early pace in this race could be problematical. Nothing guaranteed to go on if Star Rage doesn't. So they race away for the Battle is Cash and Carry Handicap. It's over a mile and 3/4, and through the first furlong on the inside we have Non-Vintage going on. Non-Vintage is doing the work. To Isterbraak in second, then Floating Line third, and Cherrington in 4. Non-Vintage from a wide draw has got to the rail, but is steadying the pace, and they're all boxing up behind. And it's now Willie Carson on Isterbraak who goes on. Isterbraak the leader. From Floating Line, the outside of Non-Vintage. Light blue colours on the outside is Medium Blue. Just in behind these we have Cherrington out wide, Celeric in mid-division. You can spot the yellow cap of Chantry Beath in mid-division. Star Rage, the pale colours on the outside, follows Embracing, with Showerhin one of the back markers, and Faugeron in last of all. Isterbraak at the head of affairs then, as they go to the first half mile, and this Battle is Cash and Carry Handicap. By 3 parts of the length, if not more, to Medium Blue, Non-Vintage the inside, and then we have on the outer Floating Line, followed through by Celeric and Cherrington, the yellow cap the rail, that's Chantry Beath, and on the outside we have Embracing. With the odds of reward, Celeric at 3-1, that's the green colours, black cap racing mid-division. Cherrington is shading him at 9-2, Embracing at 11-2, and Isterbraak is 15-2. So they head down towards the halfway stage, and the back marker is Showerhin, that's the black cap out the back, Faugeron towards the back, and Quango towards the back. They've got 7 furlongs to go. Isterbraak, though, leading from Medium Blue, the outside, the striped sleeves, and then running the rail on the inner is Non-Vintage. These are followed through by Cherrington, who's travelling sweetly on the outside of Floating Line. Then Embracing going well, and Chantry Beath, and after these Star Rage and Augustin and Quango, and Celeric still in about the 6th or 7th spot on the inside. Faugeron is the one who's trailing the tails as they start the turn in, that is with the exception of Showerhin, who's well tailed off. Just over half a mile to go, and on the front end it's Isterbraak that has the edge to on the outer Medium Blue. Non-Vintage runs the rail, the horse with the nose band, the maroon jacket is Cherrington. In behind Cherrington is Floating Line. Celeric's going to be looking for room, Chantry Beath with a bit of a run, Embracing the outside, and here comes Star Rage. Pale colours on the extreme left of the leading group as they come down past the 3. And Frankie Dettori looking for room on the favourite Celeric, and he hasn't got a lot of room to go, but it's Cherrington now that strikes the front. Cherrington as they come down towards the 2 in the lead, from Istibrac the rail. Here comes Star Rage. Celeric gets room now. The black cap is really finishing well. Come down to the final furlong. Horse with the noseband, that's Cherrington. Black cap, Celeric the outside. The improving 3-year-olds have it between them. Istibrac is on the inner, and that's rallying. That's a great cause. They race up towards the line. We've got 100 yards to go. And Istibrac and Willie Carson. Here comes Celeric. It's going to be another thriller here. Celeric, Istibrac in a photo 1-2. Cherrington third, floating line 4. Then came Midian Blue and Faugeron, followed by Star Rage and Quango and Chantry Beast. Then Embracing Augustin and Non-Vintage, and well-tailed off is Showerhead. And so the outcome of this, the battle is cash and carry handicap. It's gone to a photo. The judge calls a photo between number 3 Celeric in the colours of Mr. Christopher Spence, trained by David Morley and ridden by Frankie Dettor.